address for the record?
I'm Joe Richter. I live at 9065 McKinley. Yep. So the reason I'm here is my neighbors are not the nicest people. I mean, he throws beer cans on the front yard. He drives drunk. I mean, I've seen him take the beer can out of his car and throw it on the floor, on the lawn. From the time that it's warm to the time it gets cold, the windows are open, they scream and yell at each other every day. They're the 3 units in the same building. And just kind of got sick of dealing with it. Their backyard is just atrocious. You see mice go around. You got two bigger dogs that stay outside. One big one is just harassing. I mean, every time you try to go get groceries in the house, do lawn work, do anything to your vehicle or anything, dogs always bark. I mean, I came and talked to David Greco in the police station before. I talked to the police, called the police. The police told me they don't deal with it. They only deal with criminal stuff. Somebody called the animal control, which I have not done that yet, but their hours are very limited. I'm at work during the day like most people. But if you look up on just the Taylor website, it says, a question, what would I do if a dog's barking in my neighborhood? Just call the police. You look up the code of ordinances, you got a dog that's just barking, nonstop hours, or, excessive. It says to call the public works director. It says to call the animal control, or it says the police. And then the police just keep telling me all the time. And then, like, about 2 Fridays ago, I believe, my mom was actually over my house, and she called, the city on me, because it's just like, if any of you have kids, and, like, I'm 26 now, I bought the house when I was 23, if I'm out in the city and I'm looking, or I'm just doing, reckless things, you're going to be looked at as a younger person, like, you're a nuisance to the neighborhood. These people are in their late 60s, and I'm the younger one trying to, I plant flowers in front of my house with my girlfriend and everything, and my taxes went from $3,000 to $5,000. My home values went up, I understand that. Everything, this is my first city council meeting, I sat here and everything you guys got paid for. I get it. But when I'm sitting next door to that, and then, like I said, 2 Fridays ago, he comes out, excuse my language if I'm not allowed to, but he said, you fucked me for the second time. He's out there calling me pussy, excuse my language again. And it's like, I got upset and I started yelling at him. And then I have 3 police officers come to the house, and they're talking to me saying that, if it happens again, if it happens, tomorrow, tonight, next week, you have to be arrested. And it's like, like I said, I've talked to Greco, I've talked to a woman, 2 different women at that counter about, like, who owns the house, grass, just everything. It's different if it's just one thing. Everybody can't be perfect, but it's like 5 different things. Could you imagine hearing someone scream every single day at each other? I was telling the woman I'm sitting next to me tonight, I left for an hour, and I came back, and she's still screaming.
So I think, sir, I think you made the point of post on time, but the next steps, certainly the reason why you've got government is so that neighbors aren't taking the issues into their own hands, right? To try to settle disputes, but
go the right way.
Mr. Mayor.
So through the chair, we can, I'll get your address and we'll go over there as far as ordinance and stuff. Police matters are a whole different thing. So depending on what's being called in or whatever, I will say, and I know this is not, but I'm going to be honest with you, our police are running on a lot of things, so a barking dog isn't a huge priority. But we can work with ordinance as well as animal control, and I'll talk with you after that.
Through the chair. Would he have to give permission for the ordinance to come into his backyard to see the neighbors back there?
Through the chair, I believe so. I'll double check with situation, the landlord could be the one getting the tickets, you know, so that's one of the things we'll look at. We'll get the address. You know, there is a lot of times where tickets are written and everything, and then it goes into the court process at that time. So there is a lag sometimes, but we'll talk after. And,
But yeah, I did raise that a few times, like who, you know, who owns the house, you know, you got a gutter that just drains right into the foundation, and we know
If
it's
I-
old in that basement.
So I just want to make sure that we get to the next piece of open business. I think you've
Yeah.
established, right, you've got an issue. We need to, you know, employ the appropriate folks. The only piece that you brought up about your taxes going from 3,000 to 5,000, did that occur right after you bought the property?
So after I was like 2,900, went to 3 about the next year, and then after that.
Well, it should be.
Do you have homestead?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's what I was gonna say, make sure that if that's your primary residence, that you've got homestead,
Yeah, so
exemption.
underwriter
That way you-
was messing that up in the beginning, and I checked him on it, so I for sure did.
Okay, so you missed that in the beginning?
Not even before anything was filed, I was sitting there making sure, you know,
I was gonna say, on that piece, if you gave your address, you know, to the treasurer, I'm sure she could look at what the history is on that, because that, you know, a 50% increase doesn't sound correct. Go ahead.
A couple things I just wanted to say that I heard. I want to thank you for coming up here today for your first council meeting. And I think that you can only really control yourself, so be smart enough not to let it escalate.
yeah, I mean,
Your
I've
own
been
actions.
called a lot by him.
Right, I wouldn't let it escalate, be smart enough to do that. The other part of it, your taxes going up, your house is probably worth more too, so
I
that's
understand
one
that.
good thing.
And that's part of the reason, you know, my house is worth more, that's good if I'm selling it. But, you know, living next to that, paying that every day, you know, gotta make the money, I wanna live next to something happy as well.
Understood. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Any further open business from the public? Come forward.
Yeah, my name is Martin Juilliard, live at 6708 East Daly Road. Strange thing that one of our city council members has accepted most of his election from our previous mayor, who was cashing many checks from one of our contractors. If the city council wants to look into something, please do look into that. How does the city's procurement process select Al's Asphalt for millions of dollars of taxpayer dollars to someone who has been indicted and pled guilty to participating in a bid rigging scheme? Do they go to the top of the list if they're involved in stuff bad like that? I don't get it. But instead of paying bid riggers, how about we hire more police officers? Because the city is getting unsafe by the day. And to you, Chairman Geist, could you ask your wife, Senator Geist, to draft legislation that would prohibit an elected official from accepting political contributions from any and all city contractors? Because that seems to be a big problem around here. Chair, could you ask her that for me?
You certainly can do that directly with her. We have 2 different offices. Her office is a publicly available number. I would encourage you to contact your senator.
Okay, in August, we should be getting all of the text messages